Well, howdy, howdy. How we doing this morning? We're live on Monday morning, ready for the stock market to get up and running. Let me go and invite in all of my other platforms. Say good morning to Twitter. Good morning to YouTube. Good morning to Instagram. Good morning to Facebook. Good morning. Come on, Instagram. Let's get going. That one doesn't seem to want to be moving forward this morning. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. If you're on live, tell me in the chat this morning, how's it going, first of all? And if you're ready to, if you are ready to make a few dollars in the market, dollar sign into the comments. Put me a dollar sign in the comments. Like, I'm ready. I'm ready. Or say, I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. Let's see. Okay, Instagram says we're having trouble getting going. Okay, well, let's see if we can get it popping. We need to get it popping. Save changes. Don't know what's going on with IG, but let's come on and let's try it again. Let's try it again. Monday in the market. If you're on IG, you can say, yep, I'm here. I'm on IG. I think Instagram just seems to be struggling, but we're going to move on either way because we got to keep it going. We got to keep it going. Come on. Trying to see if we can edit the key. Oh, it says you're already live. Well, I am, but it don't look like it. Okay, let me go look at Instagram and make sure it's live over here. Again, it don't look like it. Don't look like it though. Nope, it's not live over here. We might have to press on. Be like, well, today IG didn't get it, so we'll keep it going. I want to make sure. I see some dollar signs in the chat. Hey, Mr. Earl. Tiva, good morning. Karen, good morning. Janae, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I'm going to remove it for now, and then we'll try to go put it back. Dollar signs in the chat. This needs to be another good week. I really feel like the weekends, you take time. Of course, you study, you review the things you did the previous week, things that went well, things that didn't go so well. And you really reassess and say, these are the things we're going to be, quote unquote, we're going to do different next week. Things we're going to make some adjustments. Like, one of the adjustments I've made is, instead of closing, I've waffled between the 50% and the 70% closing of my credit spreads. And I've enjoyed the 50%. Because you take in better premiums, you don't mind the 50%. But then statistically, 70%, right around that 68%, because it's the two standard deviation. Again, not trying to get too deep stats, but around 70% is still a good probability of success. Two standard deviations. I think I'm going to stick with the 70%. I'm gonna go back because I was doing 70% before, then I moved to 50%. I'm actually gonna create a video, hopefully today, that's going to like really explain out the thought behind that and what percentage is a good percentage to close your trades and suchy. So yeah, that's what I think I'm gonna do. I think that's gonna be one of my changes for this week is doing that. I see Karen's here. Jamie said he's ready. Got a dollar signs up. Tanya says good morning, Mr. Earl. Ward, good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. All right, let's go ahead and look at our. Let's go ahead and look at our pre-market stuff. Okay, our VIX this morning is at 20. Seems like this is a place we have rested and may rest for a minute. Yeah, if those who have been with me for a while remember a couple of years ago it went up to 1820 in our little 1 DTE strategy as we were doing it. We struggled with it after that because we were only picking the one direction instead of the iron condors, and we ended up running into problems with the 20 VIX, the VIX that was 20 and above. Caused a few issues for us, but potentially that won't. We've learned some things. We're doing some things a little bit different. And yesterday, Tifa brought up that our road to 100K, we're still on the road. We're still on the road. We have not accomplished the goal just yet, but we are still on the road. And I think we are going to think about some type of challenge for maybe the month of September or the challenge for the rest of the year, like the 2024. Can we move towards a certain dollar amount goal for the rest of this year? Well, that was a very good suggestion given by Janae, and I'm pondering that so we can definitely add it to our, we're going to add it to our things because I think that's a good idea. I think that's a great idea. Okay, so our VIX is 20.42 this morning. Yahoo Finance, NVIDIA-driven AI humanoids. Oh, the future unfolds. Oh, if it can make coffee in the morning, that might be a good thing. A new wave of AI-powered humanoid robots is poised to disrupt the labor market by quickly mastering complex tasks. Oh, okay. Why NVIDIA and Tesla are betting on the AI-powered humanoid robots. This sounds like the movies. We saw this kind of stuff in the movies, and okay, well, we'll see. A jumpy stock market wants good news on inflation and more. Yeah, we're ready for some good news on the inflation. Hopefully things are cooling. We'd like to have some of this, some good news. Yeah, 7 charts that make the case for Fed rate cut is there. U.S. futures edge higher ahead of a big week. Big week includes PPI, CPI, includes stuff like that. Stock futures rise. We just said that. Adani Group shares shed billions after the Hindenburg allegations against the regulator. Ooh, they shed billions. That's a lot. Stocks making the biggest pre-market move. Key Corp. Not sure what Key Corp does. Is that a bank? Is Key Corp a bank? Starbucks, JetBlue, Eli Lilly. Eli Lilly's making big moves. So they had earnings last week. DirecTV is pushing the pay TV bundle without a satellite dish. Okay, because that's all we used to. Everybody who had satellites back in the day, you had to get it from DirecTV. And them other people put that big old monstrosity in your backyard. And then after you quit using the satellite, nobody came and got the dish out your yard. We had one. And you had to move it around to get the right channels. It's like this right here. I guess but technology, it goes as it goes, right? Bear market is coming in 2025, warns David Roche, but the Fed will step in before it turns draconian. How Intel's AI platform can help identify untapped athletic talent. I really want Intel to really get their game together. Okay. Goldman says buy these cheap stocks with healthy fundamentals during this sell-off. Of course, that's a pro, so you can't go in there and see it unless you're paying for CNBC. Market sell-off won't last for one key reason. CIO says there's no tech bubble to burst. The market sell-off won't last. Okay. Futures this morning. Dow futures is up 0.24%. S&P futures up 0.35%. NASDAQ futures up 0.40%. Oil is green and the U.S. 10-year bonds are red. Stock futures rise slightly as traders look to build on the week's comeback. Okay. So for this week, we'll talk about today, though. We got Cleveland Fed inflation expectations. Y'all know I had trouble saying that yesterday. And the federal budget balance is all today. Tomorrow morning, though, we are going to have the PPI, right? We're going to have PPI tomorrow morning. PPI is where is it? Producer Price Index is tomorrow. And why do we care? Food source changed series calculation formula as of February 2014. Food and energy prices make up about 40% of the overall PPI, which tends to mute the importance of the core data. Okay, we got to have, I want to go to the one that shows the whole thing because it'll tell us why we care. Traders care. It's a leading indicator of consumer inflation. PPI is a leading indicator of consumer inflation. When producers charge more for goods and services, the higher costs are usually passed on to the consumer. And I know we've all felt that, right? We've all totally felt the prices going up everywhere. So that's all tomorrow morning. So I'm saying this to say for tomorrow morning that as you're swinging things over across overnight or whatever, we're going to keep this in mind that there's a red folder coming up. And then FOMC member Bostic will speak tomorrow afternoon. CPI is going to be on Wednesday. Consumer Price Index is Wednesday. Thursday, we've got retail sales, which that shows another piece of where our consumers spending their money. Our consumers putting their, they're releasing their funds. And when they're not, this is an indication of, a little bit of fear in the consumers. What are people kind of holding on to their cash, yada, yada, right? Unemployment's also on Thursday. I got a lot of different stuff. Most of them are yellow folders. And then on Friday, we've got building permits and housing starts is Friday morning at 8:30. So we've got a few landmines for the week. Okay, got a few landmines, but we'll trade what we see and we trade accordingly. That's how we do. I'm only looking for today here to see what is on federal budget balance, OPEC monthly report. Okay, I also want to mention that on Friday, our things for the week. On Friday, we do have it's the third Friday of the month, which is where the monthlies, the bonds, all these different things, there we go, are expiring on Monday. These various things expire Friday. So I'm doing too many things. On Friday is our day where the monthly things, the options expire for the month. For the week, of course, they expire. You've got bonds that expire and people reset their positions. So during this week, right, sometimes you'll see, many times I've seen that you see a dip in prices. Maybe there's a bit of a quote unquote sell off, and then it picks back up because people are closing their positions. And then they're reopening new positions or resetting positions for the next month. Well, we're not at the quarter yet because we got one more month before the quarter ends. But for the month, people close positions and then reset them for the next month. So there is some that gives its own set of volatility in there, right? So, and we also got PPI, CPI, and all the I's are happening this week too. So these are the things that can cause some volatility this week. Just keep that in mind as we're finding and using our credit spreads for the week, which I always suggest that we close our credit spreads I was suggesting 50, now I'm suggesting 70, but somewhere before they get to full worthlessness, you can close them early. And the reason is, we already know Fridays are bananas. And you don't want to have a trade that's going good for 2 or 3 days and then it gets to Friday and the price reverse and your good trade is no longer good. When you see that your trade has done what it's going to do, it has given what it's supposed to have gave, then you go ahead and close it and go on about your business. Okay, go on to the next trade, go on to reset that trade, either way, right? Okay, earnings for this morning was Barrick, Monday.com, Esperion, I think that's BEKE, looks like an Asian company, Ballard, Orla Mining, Vuchai, Central Puerto, Adaptimmune, and Beasley are all this morning. Aftermarket today, we've got TerraWolf, Freight Car, America, ARC, Adico Agro, Double Down, Rumble, Sun Life, DHT, Perspective, and Crescent. Tomorrow morning before market opens, we've got ONON or ON, Melco tomorrow morning. Home Depot reports tomorrow morning. This is one that's being anticipated. SE or C, Hut 8 Mining, PaySafe is tomorrow morning. MindMed, Intuitive Machines, Hyzon, and 10 Cent Music Entertainment. The ones that are really popping up this week that are what could be of note is the Home Depot one is there. Cisco reports on Wednesday after the market closes. Dole is here. I'm not sure if that's anticipated. Applied Materials, AMAT is there. Walmart reports. Alibaba. Thinking, oh goodness, I keep touching this thing and there we go. I think those might have been those might be the ones that are anticipated for the week. But whatever you're trading, of course, is anticipated by you. So, oh, John Deere is also over here. As I suggest, we always trade what we see. And I would also suggest that you not do credit spreads on ones that have earnings unless you're going to have your trade closed before the earnings or you're going to close it after. If you're going to open it after the earnings or you're going to close it before the earnings call or start the trade after earnings, because you just don't want to be in the trade while the earnings volatility does its thing. You don't want your 1 week trade to be at risk because of a huge earnings swing. Okay. Here's Adam's numbers. On Friday, my target in SPX was 53.53, and we hit Friday late day after a 55-point rally. This is the next gateway level, and we spent all night basing here. Keep riding your runners. Plan today, 53.38, defended overnight. 53.13 to 17, our supports. Keeps 53.75, 53.89, and 54.13 alive. We're going to dip if we're less than 53.13. Basically, if this support doesn't hold support, then there's going to be a little bit more downwards movement, right? He didn't even give us any more downside targets, so Adam is not anticipating that there will be any. Doesn't look like, because he didn't put any down here. Not saying there won't be, just saying he's obviously not anticipating any because he didn't put any numbers down there. If you're trading XSP, 541 on the call credit spread side and 531 on the put credit spread side. All right, that's what we've got going on with Adam. Y'all know Adam is a level-to-level trader he buys options on the ES. We trade SPX. Many people do, including me. I trade SPX. I trade XSP, SPX, which is kind of the same thing. And we trade as sellers. So we use these numbers to look at where price could potentially go and reverse and what could be the outer bounds, because we want to find out where we can be so we can be out of the money. Or where is a bounce place that you can get on and do a PDT hack. If you want to do a PDT hack, you want to know where are some good places you can do that. The gap between ES and SPX is currently 25 points. The gap between these two is currently 25 points. Okay. Last week, last week, our list went 9 for 9, baby. 9 for 9. Every one of the trades that was on our list last week ended in profit. So if you picked anything off the list last week, your trade was good. Your trade was good. All right, 100% win rate last week. Woo woo. Yes. Exciting news. Good morning, Lorenzo. Exciting news. Okay, so that's what we did last week. All of the trades, any of the trades that you picked would have been good stuff, right? We've got coming up next week, actually, is our Options 411 for Newbies 3-day challenge. We've run this a few times. We've run it over and over. And every time I run it, people say, when are you going to run it again? And I'm like, well, the next time I run it, you just need to go ahead and register. But I want to show you in the 3 days how to get paid from the market every day and or every week. Every week and or every day. I will show you how to do that. We're going to talk about the basics of options. So if you're trying to find out what is this options thing all about, and I want to do it without spending a whole bunch of money, let me go figure out what's going on. Come on to the challenge. We talk about brokers and accounts, the things you got to have in your accounts, selling options versus buying options, which is, two different sides of the options trading game. I don't really want to call it a game. The options trading situation, right? And then we got an options quick start. That is the 20th through the 22nd. And let's do educator to trader. I know you don't want Verizon, seeing that you're saying it don't never move. Verizon don't move. And then you put it in the chat for us to look at it. We'll look at it. We sure will. Because actually, it don't need to move. It just needs to stay away from your strike. That's all that needs to be. Options 411 registration at educator2trader.com. Okay, let's go see what we see. The list for the week. The list for this week. Right? Put credit spread side. CVS, Kroger, Verizon, and Exxon. Call credit spreads, Disney, Coca-Cola, Starbucks, and Wynn. Iron Condors, C or Citibank, MGM Studios, Morgan Stanley, Oracle, and Pfizer are for the week. Or Iron Condors for this week. Okay. I've asked the group, my folks, and I'll ask you again here to pick at least one of these and trade it, whether trade it live or trade it in your sim, but pick one of these and trade it. Okay. Let's see where we are. Can see if we can get on our charts. There we go. We got a few tickers. So if you want to look at some tickers, put them into the comments. I see Verizon, CVS, and CVX. We're going to look at. Okay, before I go there, I meant to look at SPY last night, and we did not, but I want to look at SPY and Triple Q, as well as the other things that we have, kind of see where we are in the market. Okay, so SPY has filled up this whole gap. All of this, I won't say all, but a lot of stocks had this gap down last Monday. So that's where we are with that. That gap has been filled, and Friday ended kind of, going in the upwards direction, I guess, but it did come right into this resistance of the top of this gap. Notice how the price closed right at the close of last Friday. Basically, this is where it closed last Friday, and it closed there virtually the same place Friday, the 2 Fridays, and then Friday. Now we see, where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? Okay. What do we see for support? I got way too many lines on here. Way too many lines. We don't want to work together. Okay, let's just wait and see. Okay. Clear the drawing set. Clear it all. Looks like we're kind of neutral here, though. I think this may be the 9-period moving average. Anyway. Support is at 518.46. Daily support. Okay. Is there. Now we've got Does it tell us where we are in pre-market? We're at 534.30 in pre-market, which is into this gap up here, looks like. It's like we're kind of getting into, not quite there, 534.30. There's a gap that will need filling. We haven't filled yet. The bottom of this gap is going to provide resistance. Going to provide some resistance. We're at 534.32 right now in the pre-market, looks like, and I'm looking right here. I'm not sure if y'all can see that. It's kind of small for you probably, but that's what I'm looking at. Resistance is going to be there. Support at 518, resistance at 535.89, but it's coming into the gap. So if it gets into this gap, it's probably going to try to fill some of it, at least 50% of the gap. It may try to fill it. I always struggle with which one of these I'm going to use. Nope, that's not it. It's the, now I don't want extensions. I want the Fibonacci, but not, maybe this is it. Yeah, there it is. I need to add that to one of my, that's not the one I want though. Nope. Not the one I want. Okay. Yeah, that wasn't the one I wanted. So leave this here. What I really should have done, and I probably will still do, is go over here because I know where all my stuff is. Over here. Over here, I know where my stuff is. This is Trading View. Still got way too much stuff on this chart though. Wow. Remove the drawings. All of them. All of the drawings. Okay. So support based on the pivots is also, now what I don't like about this is these numbers is so teensy and I don't know how to make them bigger. If somebody knows in TradingView how to make these numbers bigger, I am open to hear it, because I've looked a couple of times and I've not been successful with finding how to make these numbers bigger. I go to labels, but then I don't see how to change the size. And when I go into settings, it's not clear either. Okay, so anyway, up here, the resistance here is 537. 537.12 is the resistance. Let me put my gap on still. Okay, and the resistance is showing the top of that wick where it did go and reverse. That is what's showing as the resistance of 537. If it comes on into this gap, it may continue to go on up some more. That is SPY. SPY has so much volume and so much trading. Oh my goodness, there's so much that happens in there. Okay, so we've had these gaps that we put on last week that have been filled. So we can take these off of our chart. Right, this gap here is not completely filled, so I will not take it off of our chart because it's not all the way done. This is SPX we're looking at now. Of course, the chart looks very similar to SPY because that's the way it goes. Time frame continuity has us with day and the week green, even though it's today. The day and the week are both today. The market hasn't opened. That's why you see green. The month and the quarter are both red, though, which, you know, says from the month standpoint, we've been going down. Okay. If you're trading at SPX, you want to keep in mind that we've got, there's another line here. At the top of this gap, there will also be some resistance, and maybe most likely there's going to be a little bit in the middle of this gap. If SPX comes on into the gap, you're going to see some resistance even in here. The 25% mark has been almost hit, but maybe the 50%, each of these levels, like I said, will provide some resistance, but it doesn't mean it will reverse and turn back all the way, but just know that it's going to provide some resistance inside of that gap. Okay, triple Q, I think, looks very similar, but let's look at it. Trading View chart, right click on the chart, settings, canvas, change the text number. Okay, right click on the chart, settings, canvas, Oh, there we go. Ah, yeah. Look at the Lord and Lorenzo. Thank you. Thank you, Lorenzo. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. Okay. Y'all remember Friday? I just erased it. But here I had a thing that said once we were here that if once it crossed over this 448.99 that you could buy calls going over there. And if you had, you would have gotten a little bit of the pop here. That's, from the stretch. Still learning. I'm still learning. You never stop learning. My 54-year-old brain is still working. It don't work as good as it used to, but I still put a demand on it. Okay. Now, come on. We can still do this. We still got stuff to learn. We're not done yet. 434 is the support I see. And I'm sure there is some more in here as well. But definitely your triple Q, many of us are using the Iron Condors alerts that we get from Peakbot. If you're trading it as a buyer, you definitely need, to make sure that you're watching your levels and know what it is you're going to do. But if you're trading it as a seller, you just need to know where it won't go. Where won't it go? Okay, Verizon. We got Verizon. Verizon had a gap or has a gap that hasn't quite been filled yet, but it is going to try to fill it. See, this was the gap that was on Verizon, and it's trying to fill it. Let me turn off stuff that is in the way. In the way. Why are you not showing? There we go. Oh, that's not the one I wanted off. I want you to stay on, but I want you to maybe go off. Nope, I don't want you to go off either. There we go. Last one. Okay. So that's the gap. Verizon hasn't finished filling it yet. It has done the majority of it, but not all of it. So let's see if we were to put our quartiles on here. Come on. I must have the magnet on. It doesn't want to click where I'm putting it. There we go. Looks like we closed up here at the 75%. We close at this 75% mark, which may go on up a little higher and finish off the closing because it's in position. 40.78 is where we are in the pre-market, which is above the close from the other day. So it could go ahead and fill this gap. After the gap is filled, you're going to want to see how does it respond at the top of this gap. Verizon is on the put credit spread list on the put credit spread side of our trades list, right? There is support in here. There's support around $40. Let me see. What did we put? What is our strike that we have on the list for Verizon? We got $39.40. Look at our list. Okay. So our list here was on our list. We've got put credit spread, PCS, $39.40. Okay. There we can go with that. Depending on your, how you're feeling, you may also consider the top side. Now, this will feel a little more uncomfortable because you're going to be trading as the call credit spread as it comes into here. But this was a long wick. So price did go on up pretty high. Price here, the high of this is 41.94. So if I was doing, Verizon, I was going to get on the top side. I probably would go with something above this wick. So I would go with a call credit spread of 42.43. I'd go up even higher than this high point here. So I can see this filled that gap. This was the gap that was created back in July. But above this wick would be a good support area. I would go up as high as that if I were trading the top side as well. Okay. That is Verizon. But Verizon is on the put credit spread side because it is showing on the 50-period EMA, it is showing bullish because it has been. I mean, if we look back here, we can see it's been on a up, then it pulled back some, but it's been going up. It's been going up since July. That's why it is on the bullish trend list, okay? Verizon, CVS. CVS, I believe, is also on the bullish list. We've got a pivot support down here at the 56 and some change, 56.12. But we do have, I feel like, wait a minute, let me go look because I don't want to be misspeaking. But I feel like, yeah, it's on the moderate. CVS was the moderate risk put credit spread. Came off the Peakbot watch list. There is a gap here that has not been fully filled. Let's see, where is price at right now? 57.16. It's just above the, I'm going to draw the gap of what's left. Even though I usually draw the whole gap, I want to draw just what's left today. Current price is at 57.16, which is right in the middle of this candle, right? This support was here. It went up, basically gapped up on Friday and then went down for the day. Put credit spread support, I would go at 55.56. I'll look on the chart to make sure that's what I agree with. Make sure that's what I said the other day. 54.55. So even down one more. 54.55. Depth was the 70%, had more of a 78%. 56 is probably above 70% probability out of the money, but I don't ever suggest ones that are that close. I suggest at least 75% probability out of the money. 54.55 or 55.56. Let's go with that. We'll put an or right in here. Okay. If we're thinking about CVS, this is CVS. All right. Now let's go to CVX. CVX. Ooh, this looks interesting. Interesting. CVX got lots of gaps. Let's see. Are you looking to trade it as a seller this week, Lorenzo? What are you looking to do with CVX? Tell me, what are your thoughts for CVX so I can tell you my thoughts on the trade. Gotta look back, see what's going on back here. Definitely has hit support and is pulling on out of the station. Current price is 145.96. Support here, 142 and some change. 145 puts it into the gap, but we got the top of, let me make this bigger so I can see it and so can you. I want a ray. Give me a ray. There we go. This would be called a 2-up. It's outside of this previous candle and it closed outside of this previous candle. So that's an indication that it still wants to be going upwards, right? A 2-up. We're into the gap that was created. I tried to make that too big because it'll overshadow what these little wicks look like. We're right about that 25%. Need to see it go on up above this, 140, 146.06 to continue for a continuation on up into the gap some more. Maybe looking at resistance. Notice here, the pivot shows S2 right here at that 50% mark. So you're going to want to look at that area to see that that could be a target, or it could be a place of resistance to turn back. Now, if you're doing it as a buyer, you want to look at when it gets here, what does it do? If you're looking at it as a seller, you of course want to get beyond this level. And if you're selling for the week, I would probably get beyond the top of the gap so we can see what's there. So, really going with a put credit spread. Let me see. Let me go get the rest of my support materials. I know it's going up. We can tell. We can see it's going up. Okay, if you're going with CVX, put credit spread, 75% probability out of the money is 142, which is what we did see. Just what we did see here when I was putting this on when I was doing the support. PCS 141, 142. Let's go look to see what the money looks like, though. We're in the pre-market, but we can still maybe go see what the money looks like. 141, 142 for the week. Paying $20. 141, 142 is paying $20, right? If you wanted to look on the other side of that gap to see if you could, potentially turn it into an iron condor, that's above the 148.50. Above 148.50, I'll look on single and even to see 148.50. That's about 79. 149 is here. 79% probability out of the money. I wouldn't do this other side until so another $15. I wouldn't do the other side until you saw some more price action going up, because you're going to get better premiums as the price rises. So I would look at 148 or 149. I would watch the top side, though, just because if it's climbing, you don't want to at 148.50. The top of the gap will provide some resistance, but if you pick 148, you're still in the gap. So I'd go beyond that to the 149, which is what I was picking here. 149, 150, another $15. And as price climbs, you're going to get you even get better premiums than that. But you couple those two together, you're at $35+ in premiums you're going to take, which is going to reduce your risk to reward, because you want to have as high of a risk to reward as possible, as far as you want more reward for the amount of risk. There we are with that. Okay. This week off the list, I said I was going to trade. I'm looking at Exxon. Exxon is actually on the put credit spread list. Makes sense that it would be. It's a big old gap down here, though, that doesn't look like it wants to come back just yet to get, but it is there. It is still down. It's still down. Okay. But we are coming into a pretty good resistance. So that would be a concern. Actually, it's above it right now. Current price is at 119.67. So it's still going on. If it goes on and stays beyond this gap, beyond this resistance, definitely could go with continuing a put credit spread. And what I have on tap and on the list, time is at about 9:15. Okay, we need to start landing the plane. Looking at maybe 115 or 116, 114, 115. What do we have on our list? Our list for Exxon, we have 114, 115. 114, 115, currently paying $18. If price continues to climb on up, though, 119, that money's not going to be the same. So look again when the market opens. Make sure that you look again at your probability of the money and see if that's because 116 may be a better place by then. Okay, I'm looking at Exxon for the week. I'm also looking at the Morgan Stanley. Morgan Stanley is on the Iron Condor list. Y'all know I love me some Iron Condors. As Morgan Stanley is there, and I'm looking to do SPX and triple Q for my one DTE Iron Condors that we do each day. Pull in the premiums one day for the next day expiration. I'm looking to do those this week. That's my thought. Not investment advice, just telling you what I'm thinking about. Okay. The freebies page, basically the free resources created by me. Okay. You can go to E2T-freebies, E2T-freebies.com and see all the resources, the free resources that have been created to support you on your trading journey. All righty. Chart your way to 100K charting cheat sheet. We've got a free charting webinar here, access to the YouTube channel, 7 mistakes traders make that keep them from making 7 figures, the 0 DTE strategy cheat code, find the trading strategy that works best for your personality, stock options for beginners, for those who are new and just want to see a quick start guide. You've got that. At 5 SPX hacks, 5 hacks for trading SPX, E2T membership. We have a full membership where we, do our morning calls. We have weekly trainings. We have monthly coaching calls. We have a Telegram group where we're there. Like we were on yesterday for a couple hours, just ironing out how do we use those Iron Condor alerts from Peakbot. Those are the kind of things that we do there. Okay. Educator Trader website is here. And then you can join our Facebook group here. I need to move this to the top, but it's not as easy to do as I thought. Anyway, it's here, Facebook group. And if you want to join our Telegram group, you can sign in here at the bottom and join our exclusive Telegram group. Okay. Those are all the freebies that we have. Those are all the freebies that we have. Okay. Let me see what else is on my list. I want to make sure that we revisit the options 411. There it is. Options 411 3-day challenge coming up next week, August the 20th through the 22nd. If you'd like to get yourself started on options trading, this would be a good, safe place to go ahead and get yourself registered and come on and do it. Okay. Be a good place to do it. Here we go with our trader's declaration. I declare I'm a great trader. I declare I'm a successful trader. I declare I'm a focused trader. I declare my wins exceed my losses. My accounts growing more and more each week. I am a wise and knowledgeable trader. I always make smart and lucrative decisions for my portfolios. I declare I'm a level-headed trader who does not trade my emotions. Lord, it's you who gives us the power to get wealth. You teach our hands to war and our fingers to fight. Help us today to trade wisely and strategically. Give us more than enough so we can have what we need and enough to be a blessing to others. In Jesus' name, amen, amen, amen. All righty. So we've got about 12 minutes before the market opens. I want you to go ahead and look at the things you need to, get yourself reset. If you need to put in your close orders, for those of us who do the 1 DTEs, set in your close orders now so that when the market opens, if they hit, it's like pop, pop, it feels, and you're done. You're not just sitting there watching and being caught up in the volatility. As a seller, I also don't suggest that you jump into the market the first 15 or 20 minutes. Give it a minute, especially on a Monday, to settle down. Everybody did their studying over the weekend, put in all their buy orders and sell orders and suchy, and you don't want to get caught in that melee. All right. Give things a minute to settle down and then decide what you want to do with your trades. Remember, if we're doing our trend spreads, we've got the alerts at Peakbot, alerts.usepeakbot.com. That gives us the trend spreads for all the stocks and almost all the ones. If it's not on that list, it's because the algorithm has said you shouldn't touch it, right? And then we have our Iron Condor entries, those alerts, but we do those around 12 o'clock. Okay, everybody, around 12 o'clock. All righty, we're going to do two things. Definitely, as we always really seek to do two things, and that is to stay green and to get this money. All right. I'll see you all in the market. If you need me, send me a message. All right. Goodbye, everyone.